Hey guys, so this is part 3 of the Sufficiency, Scarcity, and Abundance series that I'm making for you. So the big question is, now that we know what scarcity is and how this busy, broke, and exhausted phenomenon happens, and how scarcity is a trap, you're probably wondering well, what do I do, man? What do I do? How do I not keep doing these exact same things that end me up back in the exact same shitty spot, right? So here are some things to do to get to sufficiency. Now, the first one is to practice meditation. And here's why you would do that. Because it's not just some woo-woo stuff. It's about getting control of your mind. Right now, if you are one of those people that can't meditate, can't do it, I get it. Believe me, I practice meditation, and it's still a little bit of a struggle for me. The thing is it once you master your concentration, you can control it. And so learning how to meditate is the practice of mastering that. Imagine your mind as your office, right? So you got this whole big office, and so or whatever. But so there's different parts of your mind. There's the part that's for the kids, the part that's for work, the part that's for the bank account, that's that. And your concentration is your awareness, your little ball of, your little flashlight that you take around to your mind. And so most of us have this light, this concentration that wanders around freely, and we have very little control over it. And so the act of meditation helps you to learn how to control that. And so that's why it's important. And I mean, this advice seems super mushy and woo-woo, but this is how you do it. As one is getting control over this thing, right? So that's the part one. And so practicing gratitude will help you get to sufficiency, because now you're shifting your focus from lack, from what you don't have, to what you do have. And that feels different. So when you're in scarcity, what's your thought process? I don't have money for all this. The money never seems to go. I can't go on vacation. I can't do these things. I don't have this. When you start to practice gratitude, you change your focus from what you don't have to what you do have. And that one feels really good. A good gratitude practice can fill your little heart with joy and make you feel good. So that's one thing that it just does for you instantly. Gratitude. Brene Brown wrote a book about vulnerability, and my biggest takeaway from her work was that gratitude is the gateway to joy. So if you want to do this, having more joy in your life will totally help. And so practicing gratitude is a way to do that. So a couple different ways I like to practice gratitude is I have a gratitude journal, and I will write one thing that I'm grateful for, but I'll write 5 things about that one thing. So it's not just I'm grateful for my wonderful husband. I'm grateful for my wonderful husband because he makes me laugh, because he's fun, because he's a great dad, because he's very handsome, because he's good in bed, all the things that I like, right? And so you put all those things down, and it gives you a deeper sense of gratitude. And the further you can go with this, the faster you'll get a transformation. Gratitude is a transformational energy. So when you're in scarcity, imagine when you're in scarcity, you're in a tornado, and at the bottom of the tornado, you just go deeper in a hole. Going gratitude helps you to move up. So at first you're spinning this way. Ooh, I'm out of the video. But then you're going to start going this way with gratitude, and that's where abundance is. Okay? And so those things are mindset stuff. The practical side of things is to stop and slow down. When you feel yourself get into that tunnel, that is absolutely not the place to be making decisions, because you're not your best self. You're not thinking clearly. You're not working with all of your faculties. So stopping and slowing down, this will feel so weird when you do it, because you're conditioned. We're conditioned to do that busy, broken, exhausted. Just try harder, just move faster, just pick up some overtime, just do. And so the thing that really needs to happen is that you need to like stop and unravel the situation to make a plan. Now, this is a huge part of the work that I do with my clients. Most people need help with it because you're going to need a level of self-awareness that's real. Like, it's easier for somebody else to be able to observe what's going on than to have that level of self-awareness. So there's all these aspects that are tangled in together. So you have your mindset, you have your feelings, you have the practical side of stuff, and then you have all of the results from your past situation. So then you have your student loans, your credit cards, your bills, your car payment, and it can be totally overwhelming to put a plan together because you're trying to make the best decisions possible. And a lot of times people just don't have all the information to be able to do that. So unraveling the situation and making a plan. That's like number 2. The thing that you need to do first, I should have put this in a different order, is to get super clear on what your goals are. What do you want from your life? It's a different kind of goal setting. Most of the time we set goals and like tangibles. Like, I want to make so many dollars this year. I want to make this. I want to do this. But what does that do for your life? I'll tell you my goals. So I want to take really sweet vacations with my kids. I want to be able to travel the world and eat cheese. I want the flexibility and freedom to work from wherever I want. I want to make a fuck ton of money, but like these are the things. But like it's less about the money and more about the lifestyle. So you want to have your lifestyle here and then your goals and your plans there. Then you have to start taking action. And so this means you need strategy in the plan, obviously, but then it's about building the habits that will sustain where it is that you're going, right? So this is, I'm gonna just zoom in for a second. Oh, okay. All right. So you want to start building good habits. So this is like, for most of my clients, it's working capital. Like if you just start with the working capital, if you just start saving for the things that you totally see coming, then that makes a tremendous difference. So much, you'll do so much better financially by just doing that one thing. And so then you can stop the juggling. But like you have to start building good habits. You have to start saving, you have to start investing, you have to start paying attention to where your money's been going. Okay, so that's like so we got some mindset stuff, some practical stuff. And so here is like learning how to like control your feelings. So when you feel that scarcity, right? When you feel it and it's in your, I don't know, when I get scarce, it sits in my chest and it like, it's like hot anxiety right there. So when you're there, that is not the place to be making any sort of decision making. Like I had a client who came to see me with a $600 car payment, way outside like the realm of reasonable for her income. And I'm like, what? Like, what happened here? Like, walk me through this. Because usually when I'm working with somebody, I'm trying to understand their decision-making process. Like, I'm trying to unravel the whole thing. So their van broke. They needed a car by Monday. They went looking for cars. They got declined a place or two because of like a credit issue, I guess. And then they got offered this car with a like 19% interest rate. So the payment was $600, and they were in this such intense scarcity that they took the car, even though that was a terrible deal. That was a very bad deal, and they paid for those consequences for years to come. And it was because they were making this decision from this place. And so when you're here, you don't see all the possibilities. Like I'm like, man, you could have taken an Uber to work on Monday for $30 and then thought this one through. And like, I'm not, but when you're there, you don't see the possibility. And so when you feel viscerally scarce, when you feel super stressed out about money, do not make any decisions. Like just wait it out until that feeling goes away, because when you're in that tunnel, you're like not your best self. Okay. So EFT, I did a video about EFT, I don't know, like a week ago. So you can put into a YouTube search what EFT is, but it's pretty much the process of tapping on your energy meridians, And what it does for you is it gets that amygdala I talked about in part 1 to shut up. So that's what it does for you. And so it lets you go to those negative places with your emotions and then kind of get like work through it, get over it. And so EFT I find super helpful. I've had several clients like put that in as like a calm down like tactic, like a technique to calm down. Because when you get triggered for scarcity, you know, sometimes you need a little help, like talking yourself down off the ledge there, right? Okay, so like also like some deep breathing, and that goes with meditation. And so like you kind of have to have the meditation practice to like get the deep breathing under control. But like when you cognitively like breathe deep, when you breathe deep all the way, like all the way, you fill your lungs all the way, it helps that amygdala to calm down, because you usually only breathe fully deeply when you're safe and okay. So like when you're in that emergency mode, the breathing is fast and shallow. And so like sometimes you can trick your body into telling your brain that you're okay. So like if you do a couple deep breathings all the way, fill up your belly. You got to like breathe all the way into your belly. And then sometimes that can get that amygdala to shut up. And then you get a little extra oxygen. And so it helps with that brain power stuff. Okay. And so you want to pay attention to the triggers that do this for you and see if you can replace them. So for example, I had a client who used to get so much anxiety around paying her bills that it was problematic. Like her bills were late, and it wasn't because she had money, it was because she had like anxiety about the money going out. And so we started a gratitude practice with the bills. So like, I'm so grateful that I can pay for electricity. I love when I come home and I turn on the lights. Like I love that my refrigerator runs. Like I appreciate my air conditioning. I appreciate the blow dryer. I appreciate all the like the wonderful things that electricity brings to me, and I'm happy to pay the $150, you know, $3 a day to have that electricity in my life. I'm happy for the service, right? And so that feels way different than feeling ungrateful and like shitty about paying your electric bill, you know. And so if you like go through and you like take a second to be grateful for each one of your bills as you pay them, like that's kind of where I'm going with this. So soon I'm going to be offering a money mindset boot camp, and pretty much all of what we do like in money mindset is about getting all the way down to like those deep beliefs that you have around money, like those limiting stories, like all the like, 'cause sometimes you have to like change the entire story because we keep living out the same patterns over and over again. So when you want to change your situation like drastically and forever, you have to change those beliefs that you have. You have to change your thought pattern, and you have to like change your story about yourself and your money. And so all those things together is kind of like a complicated thing. So I usually run like 6 weeks of money mindset boot camp and scarcity, and like putting all these things into practice, and then talking through all of like the old childhood shit, all of like, you know, your ex-husband's nonsense, all of that failed business, all of these things that we like carry with us really helps to smooth things out and to allow those changes to like be like deep, you know, you're changing like your synapses. And so sometimes you need help with that. And so I just wanted to make this for you guys. So thank you for watching, and I will see you later.